Are you the type of person who says they're going to do something but then rarely follows through? For example, you've been waking up at 7 a.m. each day and then suddenly you declare, tomorrow I'm going to get up at 6 a.m. but then the following morning you're still in bed hitting the snooze button and it's 7 a.m. Well, if this sounds like you, then keep watching this video because I'll be sharing one powerful way to get you to do just about anything, including practicing sight reading. I know it may sound like a hoax or something, but it's not. You'll see. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Manu from Piano Sight Reading, where I help and inspire piano players to learn and explore more music through sight reading. So here's what to do. Remember, you can apply this to anything, not just sight reading. Any new habit you want to form, you can use this method. So first, go grab a pen and paper and write down what you want to get done. For example, if you've been wanting to practice sight reading, but you keep finding excuses not to, then write down what days and for how long you're going to practice sight reading. Don't just say, I will practice sight reading. Be specific. Say which days and for how long. And write it like you're writing a formal contract. So for example, I, Manu Fonsny, will practice sight reading every day for at least 15 minutes, except on weekends. Something like that. Now, when you're deciding on the frequency and length of your practice, be realistic. Don't be over-ambitious and say every day for 3 hours. It's got to be something that you can stick with long term, because we're trying to form a new habit, right? So it's got to be something you can stick with. Now, just like with any contract where you have clauses in legalese listing all the exceptions, have something like this too. You don't need to write in legalese, but have a clause that lists all the situations where you can miss a practice session. For example, unless I'm sick or there's an emergency. You can also add when I'm away on holidays. Although I would argue that you can still practice sight reading, with a note reading app, for example. But that's for you to decide what you write there. Okay, so far you have what you're going to do unless this or this happens. That's the first part of the contract. Now the second part is this. You write a sentence that explains what is going to happen if you don't follow through. So if you have a breach of contract, if you don't do your sight reading when you said you would. And to make this really effective, think of activities you love doing on a daily basis. For example, eating ice cream while watching Netflix. And these will be the activities you are not allowed to do for a certain period of time. For example, 1 week. I wouldn't say 24 hours because that's not going to be effective. Has to sting a little bit. So I would go for 1 week, and that's your punishment, so to speak. So the way you can write it is, if I don't follow through with this contract, I will not be able to eat ice cream or watch Netflix for a whole week. And then last thing is to sign it and date it. And then pin this sheet of paper where you can see it, either next to your desk or next to your piano, somewhere where you see it every day. That way you're reminded of it every time. Now I know you might think this sounds a little bit silly, it's kind of going overboard, why would anyone do this? But if that is what it takes to get you off your couch and doing your practice, then so be it. If you're committed to improving your sight reading, then do what you need to do. If you know you're the type of person who doesn't do what they said they would, then this is really a powerful method for you to try. And you'll see that at the beginning when you're first trying this out, it will be the punishment that will be the main driver of you doing your practice. Whenever you think of skipping a practice, you'll be reminded of the punishment you set for yourself and you will go practice. As you keep practicing, you will develop a routine and then you will no longer think of this punishment. But at the start, the punishment will be the driving force. to get you to do your practice. If you do keep a practice session, make sure that you follow through with the punishment you set yourself. Again, it's keeping your word, and don't beat yourself up over it. It's okay. Just decide that you're going to do better next time. And if you want to go one step further, show this contract to a friend or to your spouse and say, okay, this is what I've decided to do. So please remind me if I'm not following through with this contract. Please remind me. And to make it official, get them to sign the contract as well. So that is how to get things done. Let me know in the comments if you're going to try this method, and bonus points to you if you do write a contract and share it with us in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Keep exploring!